Hello and welcome back to another Football Commentary live stream. We are here at the Estadio Alfredo Di Stefano for the first leg of this Champions League semi-final between 13-time winners Real Madrid and 2012 winners Chelsea. It is a huge game for both clubs who come face to face not long after the proposed Super League was thrown out of the window temporarily by the work and the voice of the fans. Madrid are coming into this game with 3-0 results in their last four games in all competitions, including that second leg against Liverpool. And Chelsea have had 3-1-0 scorelines in their last four games as well in all competitions, including that 1-0 loss in their second leg against Porto in the quarter-finals. Real Madrid have only got to the last 16 in the last two seasons in this season under Zidane. They look towards another final as they have already won four under the legendary Frenchman Zinedine Zidane. Tuchel will face fancy chances though against Zidane because they've only played each other or managed against each other four times, and Tuchel have never been beaten by Zidane. They drawn three times, all times were 2-2, and a 3-0 win for the German when his PSG team ran riot at home versus the Spanish Giants. For the head-to-head between the two clubs, they've only met three times, twice in 1971 in the European Cup Winners' Cup, where the first one was 1-1, and 2 days later Chelsea went on and won 2-1 with John Dempsey and Peter Osgood scoring the goals for Chelsea on that day. And then they did meet one more time in the UEFA Super Cup in 1998, where Chelsea were victorious 1-0 when Gus Poyet came off the bench to score the winner for Chelsea in that Cup final. So now fast forward to 2021, the two clubs meet again in this semi-final, and for the first time in the Champions League, who will take that first big step towards the Champions League final of 2021? We're going to find out. I'm so excited. I can't wait for this game. Hopefully it's an absolute worldie of a game. I hope there's loads of action, loads of drama. I hope there's absolutely everything in this game, and I don't think it'll let us down this game. I really don't. I think it'll be a fantastic game for the neutrals. Has been a bit mental. But let me just sort the timer out 1 sec. Change it. There we go. But yeah, if you can just see, kickoff is literally about under 3 minutes away. You can see by the team lineups, Real Madrid are going for a 3-5-2. No Sergio Ramos still out injured, and Marcelo, who hasn't really played many games this season, is actually only making his 16th appearance in all competitions. He plays left wing back with Carvajal on the opposite side, and they're going to go for a back three. Is that to maybe help counter-attack the three up front for Chelsea? We're going to have to find out, and then flood the midfield. We're just going to wait and see. But they have got the two forward men of Karim Benzema, who's on 27 goals in all competitions this season, and Vinicius Junior, who scored 2 goals in the first leg against Real Madrid at this stadium of the B team of Real Madrid, which the senior team has played at during this lockdown. So see if they can run right. Also, Eden Hazard is on the bench for Real Madrid, playing against his former club. I'll be interested to see how that goes. Also got the likes of Isco, Asensio on the bench as well, and then some youngsters kind of mixing up between the two teams. And then for Chelsea as well, they've gone for Azpilicueta as a right wing back again. Reece James on the bench. They've gone for Rudiger, Thiago Silva, and Christensen as a back three, like they did against West Ham. And in fact, this whole starting 11 is the same as the one against West Ham. Same starting 11. That's the first time Tuchel's kept the same starting 11 since he joined back in January. So that'll be interesting to see how that goes. We are very close to getting underway at Real Madrid's stadium, or their B team stadium. Thanks everyone who's joined in the stream. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that. Put your score predictions as well. We've already got a 2-1 Madrid in the chat. If you've got any others, let me know. But we're about to get underway very, very shortly. Just waiting for the referee's whistle, and we will be underway in this Champions League semi-final. First leg of the first semi-final as well. We've got Manchester City going to Paris tomorrow. I won't be commentating on that, but you can obviously try and watch the game. There'll be other watch-alongs. But we're just waiting for the whistle. Remember, no Sergio Ramos, no Ferland Mendy as well for Real Madrid. Their French left-back. That's why they're kind of struggling in the defensive zones. We're just waiting for the referee's whistle. And here's a Dutchman, Danny Makelele. And we do kick off with Real Madrid kicking right to left, Chelsea left to right. Real Madrid starting with kick off. They're playing it around the back with Nacho Fernandez. Going back to former Chelsea man Thibaut Courtois. Shifts it away from Werner, plays it back over to Fernandez, who sends it down the channel on the left-hand side of Real Madrid up towards Benzema. Can't flick it on. Thiago Silva wins the header as far as Marcelo's drifted into midfield. Dispossessed way too easily by Mason Mount. And now it's N'Golo Kante going wide left to Ben Chilwell. Into midfield we go now with Jorginho. Ball over the top, looking for Pulisic in behind. He can't quite bring it down as he was all on his own there in behind, but he was flagged offside. So he wouldn't have counted anyway. But it's a good positive start from Chelsea, trying to get in behind this Real Madrid defence early on. Like I said, only 3 previous meetings between the two teams, and Chelsea haven't been beaten. 2 wins and a draw. As Real Madrid have to settle for a throw in here on their left-hand side again. Nacho Fernandes playing as the left centre-back today. Played all minutes in the last 2 knockout games against Atalanta and Liverpool. Nacho Fernandes been at the club for quite a while now. Since 2001 he's been in the academy, so for 20 years now. So he's been quite the utility source at the back for Real Madrid, Nacho Fernandes. And they've got it over to the edge of the 18-yard box on the right-hand side of Eder Militao, formerly with Porto. Signed in 2019. Now Casemiro, also formed with Porto, tries the first-time ball towards Modric, too much on it, and it'll go all the way over to Edouard Mendy, who ventures out of his 18-yard box to collect. And go to Rudiger on his left. Down the line it goes, again lifted in behind, and I think that is Mount who will give chase, but Courtois there first to send it back to where it came from, towards Thiago Silva, who brings it down calmly and effectively. It's now out wide with Chilwell. Inside to Jorginho, first-time ball over to Timo Werner on that left, dispossessed on that right-hand side, and Militao wins the throw-in as well as he was challenged by Werner after winning the ball back. There is Eder Militao. And a lifted ball over the top for Benzema, who will give chase on the far right and will tuck it inside to Luka Modric. Finds Benzema again. Nice ball into Carvajal. Gets the return, the Frenchman. Then back to Carvajal we go. Real Madrid enjoying a little bit of early possession here as they're on the halfway line with Rafael Varane. Nacho Fernandes to Marcelo, spreading the pitch as wide as they can, Real Madrid. And back we go to the German, Toni Kroos. The World Cup winner with Germany back in 2014, Toni Kroos, and signed from the German team Bayern Munich in that same year. In 2014, joined Real Madrid, has enjoyed a very nice career as Vinicius Junior just about keeps it in on the left. But they're just keeping it within their own half here, Madrid, with Kroos forward to Casemiro. It's been that midfield that has been so dominant in Europe so many times, that Casemiro, Modric and Kroos midfield 3, and they're still going at it still in 2021 as they've been forced back to Thibaut Courtois, like I said before, formerly of Chelsea, spent 4 years at the club, winning 2 Premier Leagues and racking up 154 appearances as a sloppy ball from Real Madrid. He's given it to Christensen at the back for Chelsea. He now has it the Danish international. Forward towards Kante, met quickly by Casemiro, dispossessed by the holding midfielder. Nicely played by Casemiro. Down the line to the other Brazilian, Marcelo, being squashed in between Kante and Azpilicueta, and he loses it, but Kante's pass is just ahead of Pulisic, out for a throw, and it goes to the frustration of Thomas Tuchel. Like I said in the pre-match build-up there, he has never been beat by Zidane. They've faced each other 4 times. We've had 3 2-2 draws and a 3-0 win in favour of Thomas Tuchel. And he's bringing the Chelsea side here to Madrid to try and get the upper hand in this semi-final. Marcelo receives Modric, goes for a switch, but it's only gone as far as Ben Chilwell, who will head back to his goalkeeper, Edouard Mendy, who's only conceded the 2 goals in this year's competition in his previous 9, alongside his 7 clean sheets. So decent record in this year's Champions League, as he has to hurry it away up towards Werner, who brings it down nicely on Varane and lays it off towards Pulisic. Gets there ahead of the Frenchman and brought down by Varane, but they keep going as it's fell to Timo Werner. Pulisic making a run off to his right, and he'll try and feed it to him on the edge of the box, just pokes it over to Azpilicueta, and he gives it back to the American Pulisic in the box, working a bit of room to get across into the far post. Chilwell just bats him out on the edge, goes the long way round down the left and has to turn back just to keep the ball, and then plays it back to the Italian Jorginho and the Brazilian-born Jorginho. And then we're back with the halfway line, so that attack just simmering down a little bit, just settling for now. Kante in the midfield, shifts it quickly to Jorginho. Now back to Thiago Silva. When bought, was the second most expensive defender when he joined PSG from AC Milan. Well, that's a heavy challenge there by Eder Militao on the halfway line on Mason Mount. He looks like he's injured himself, the Brazilian centre-back. So from one Brazilian centre-back, Thiago Silva, to the other. Seems like he may have maybe banged his head on the turf, or he just got caught in the face there. His Mount was just holding out in his arm just to maybe for a bit of protection. He just caught the face of Militao, nothing in it. But yeah, Militao, he's got a little bit of experience now with Real Madrid, but like I said, Thiago Silva bought for £42 million, became second most expensive defender, just behind Rio Ferdinand. So back then that was quite a lot of money, €42 million. So back underway, with Varane winning it back for Real Madrid as Chelsea lose possession in the final third. Militao, he then clears down the right-hand side. Too much on it for the Croatian Modric, but he will give it chase, but won't win the ball back. And Rudiger will bring it forward and go inside to the number 7, N'Golo Kante, the formerly known man of Leicester, now Chelsea, after winning back-to-back leagues with the two different teams. Nice little play here from Chelsea in the midfield, knocking the ball about, and it's fell back to N'Golo Kante. Then finds Cesar Azpilicueta back on that right wing back role. Finds Pulisic, skips past one, lays it off to Kante. Azpilicueta to Kante again, down the right towards the corner flag, slips as he strikes it, and it will fall to Marcelo, who can volley it away. And down the line towards Benzema, who will give chase, but Thiago Silva gets there first and plays it down the line. And then first time ball inside to Rudiger, lays it in front of Jorginho as he looks to find a pass, and he's looking for Chilwell, doesn't find him, headed away by Carvajal, only as far as Mason Mount, the man who did score one of those 2 goals against Porto, as there's a ball on towards Azpilicueta in the box, way too close to the goalkeeper, and Courtois collects and quickly throws out to Vinicius Junior, who's entered the Chelsea half, then goes back to Casemiro. A lot of mixture between Spanish and Brazilian in this Real Madrid squad. The likes of Casemiro, Marcelo, Vinicius Junior, then you've got your Spaniards as well, like your Asensios, your Carvajals, and many more Spanish players, more on the bench with their not much experience. You've got Altuve and Blanco and Arribas, all 19, 20 years old, filling in on the bench for today's game. So the Madrid youth coming through, maybe not starting, but on the bench at least in these big occasions. Nacho Fernandez works it out wide towards Vinicius Junior, forward to Benzema, first time touch, looking back for the Brazilian. Will he find him? He'll get there ahead of Cesar Azpilicueta and lay it back to Marcelo, into Benzema, towards the corner flag, spins and gets it back to Marcelo, over to the edge to Cruz, lays it off to his right to Eder Militao, who's joined the attack from right centre-back, tries to take on Mason Mount, he falls and it's a fair challenge, says the referee, and Chilwell clips it down the line, deflected up towards Werner, just a little nudge in the back there on Casemiro, and a free kick it is for Real Madrid. Taking quickly with Toni Kroos to Marcelo, who's been left a lot of this season as he lifts it into Benzema. In the box on the left, back to goal with Thiago Silva closing him down. Looks to spin and cross. Deflects up in the air off Thiago Silva, and an easy collection in the end for Edouard Mendy in between the sticks of Chelsea's net. There is Zinedine Zidane looking on as we play out from the back here with Kante misplacing a ball to Vinicius Junior, tries to go inside to Benzema, cut out by Jorginho, but will fall to the edge of the box to Kroos. A lot of Chelsea men back, so kind of sparing the blushes of N'Golo Kante, who misplaced that pass. Now Casemiro looking to flick it towards Modric, loses it to Mount. Oh, he takes on Militao beautifully, counter-attacks on. Werner is up with him, so is Pulisic. He'll keep going, Mason Mount. He's entered the box, he decides to shoot, and it deflects over to Pulisic, who lays off to Timo Werner. What a save from 6 yards! Oh, what a chance, Timo Werner. Mount won the ball, took on Militao, took him out of the game, sprinted the whole length of the pitch to enter the box. Yes, there were men surrounding him, but he shifted it onto his right foot in the end from that left, finding a shot, deflected towards Pulisic, who decided to not head at goal himself because he would have had to generate a lot of power. Instead, he just headed it over to Werner, and very, very close to goal. He's hit it right at Courtois, and it's a good reaction save by the Belgian. Great start to the game as we're already back underway now with Ben Chilwell inside to Werner, who's going to keep going on the edge, takes a shot, and it's a good save by Thibaut Courtois, but Timo Werner will be kicking himself, thinking he should have scored. Here it goes, in the box, Mount hits it to Pulisic, deflects in the air, headed down, literally exactly 6 yards out, falls to Werner. All he has to do is put a bit more placement. He tries to direct it towards the bottom left, but not far enough, and it allows an outstretched Thibaut Courtois to avoid it hitting the back of the net, and that should have been a goal from Werner. Scored at the weekend in the only goal of the game between Chelsea and West Ham, and he should have had another one. Should have bagged his 4th Champions League goal of the season. It's not a difficult chance. It's literally a little bit to the side of the keeper, but not far enough away from him. You know, all Courtois had to do was just outstretch a right foot to save it. It's really poor, and it's an unbelievable chance for Chelsea to nick an away goal in this first leg. So we're on the halfway line with Mount. Gets it on the turn. Bursts away from Militao and plays it forward to Pulisic, who slips on the ball, but Kante takes over and then slips it through to Cesar Azpilicueta. Ball across towards Werner, who slides for it, and it gets beyond the German. And Real Madrid can bring it away with Modric on the edge. Left-footed ball lifted over for the switch to Vinicius Jr. Tackled quickly by Azpilicueta. And back to the halfway line we go with Thiago Silva. What a start to the game. It's been up and down field all game. 1 minute Chelsea have the ball. Yeah, and Madrid have the... Honestly, it's been a great start to the game. Werner should have just scored there, though. What a chance. He's had so much stick this season for not taking the easy chances. And that was one of them, 6 yards out. Exactly. Great lay down from Pulisic. And all he had to do was put it in the corner, and he couldn't even do that. Jorginho on the ball. Forward to Pulisic. Again takes it on the turn. And then finds Azpilicueta. Inside first time to Kante on the edge. Backheeled it to Pulisic. Then over to Mount. One more to Chilwell. He's got men in the box. Pulls it back. Deflects off the back of Carvajal. And a corner kick for Chelsea it is. Chelsea looking positive within the first 12 minutes of the game. Mount's going to go over and take it from the left-hand side, so it'll be an in-swinging, right-footed corner from Mason Mount. He's got the 1 goal in the Champions League and the 1 assist as well. He's got 8 goals, 7 assists in all competitions this year. He'll want to add to that today. Mason Mount become the big game player like he did in that first leg against Porto. And he's going to go for the cross here. He's got many men to aim for here. Mason Mount in the box. Curls it in, headed away by Varane. All the way over to the halfway line. We'll go over to N'Golo Kante, who will just wait for players to backtrack and play back to Edouard Mendy, number 16 for Chelsea. Players getting back in position, then he sends it wide right towards Pulisic. Can't win the header on Nacho Fernandez as he cannons it forward up to Vinicius Jr. Can't lay it off to Cruz. And Chelsea win the ball back with Kante in the midfield, enters the Real Madrid half. Just about keeps it away from Casemiro, and it's now Jorginho over to Mount. Now Chilwell on the far left, really using the width of the pitch at the Estadio Alfredo Di Stefano. A stadium opened in 2006 and is home for the B team as the ball's been put over the top here to Pulisic. Is he onside? He's brought it down. The flag stays down for now. The American's got to score. He rounds the keeper. Many men on the line. And he does tuck it home. And Chelsea have got a massive goal in Madrid. And it's Christian Pulisic, the man who scores. Injury-struck season for the majority. But the American has placed that ball in the back of the net. I'm sure we'll check if there's any offsides, but I don't think there is. And Madrid have been caught cold at home within the first 14 minutes of the game. Real Madrid 0, Chelsea 1. And to me, there looks like there's no offside asks or calls or anything. Oh, he's well onside. What a ball from Rudiger. Over the top from the halfway. Finding Pulisic in the box. He brings it down, takes it wide left and comes back in, rounds the keeper. And there's 2 men on the line. So he's got to pick his spot carefully as he shoots. And he goes round the keeper, right near the penalty spot, right-footed, gets it beyond Raphael Varane as I think it just deflects off the Frenchman. Couldn't keep it away from goal, as it does just deflect off his right arm into the net. And that is a massive, massive goal for Chelsea in this first leg. But there's got to be a lot of praise, obviously, for the run of Pulisic and the way he brought it down, went round the keeper and finished. But that pass from Rudiger, the vision to find him and to put it into the space and ask the question of the Madrid defence, to then find Pulisic, to then score. It's a great goal for Chelsea. And it's a perfect start and what Tuchel would have been looking for. They have got a free kick here, Chelsea, though, on the halfway line, just on the right, with Pulisic going down after the foul from Nacho Fernandez. Just holding, I think, what is it? Just holding, I think, the back of his right leg, as he just got, I think, kneed in the back of the, like I said, the right leg near the right buttock, you could say. But what a goal. I thought, is he onside? Because the fact he got in behind with quite a lot of room, I thought, There's no way they've let him get in behind with that much room. He did just drift a bit left, but then brought it back in. Courtois came out, couldn't smother it or get even near the ball. And then Christian Pulisic, like I said, went round the keeper, finished it nicely. And they've got a corner here as Eder Militao has to head away. The free kick Chelsea just had. They just sent it down the channel there. But what a ball by Rudiger. Curls it over towards Pulisic, brings it down, plays back off. Courtois comes, can't get there. Like I said, Nacho Fernandez, Varane on the line, but neither of them could block the ball from going in. Comes off the right arm of Varane and into the back of the net, and Chelsea have an early lead. What a start to the game. They've got a corner here on the Chelsea right, and it'll be Chilwell to put it in with an in-swinger. Can they double their lead to really get a foothold in the game? He crosses it, headed away by Varane, up towards the halfway line where Pulisic will retreat the ball and play back to Kante, who goes once more backwards to Edouard Mendy. Over to Jorginho, and back to Mendy as he's pressed by Vinicius Jr. Edouard Mendy to Thiago Silva. First time pass out wide left to Jorginho. Tries to go inside. He's been tackled, I think, there by Danny Carvajal, but illegally, says the referee, and a free kick in their own half for Chelsea. What a key away goal that could be as Chelsea look to strive to their first Champions League final since their Champions League win in 2012. His free kick's been taken up towards Pulisic. He's acting like a target man. Goes over his head, and Nacho Fernandez will play back to Courtois now. Back to Nacho Fernandez first time. Clips it down the left-hand channel towards Vinicius Jr., who tries to chest it down, but he's been nudged in the back by Christensen. It's a free kick for Real Madrid just inside their own half on the left-hand side. Yeah, just put a bit too much pressure there, the Dane of Andreas Christensen. As Cruz plays it forward to Benzema. Bit isolated up front. He has got Vinicius Jr. to work with. He tries to find him a first time, deflects off Christensen back to Benzema, then lifts it over to the centre of the park to Casemiro. Now Eder Militao. Carvajal inside to Modric. Touch gets away from him and allows Rudiger to get a foot in and clear the ball away for a throw-in for Real Madrid. Throws it into Modric. Back to Carvajal. Now Casemiro. Toni Kroos in the Chelsea half. All outfield players sit. I just cannot believe how onside Pulisic was and how he was allowed to get the ball in so much room in the box. It was just quite astonishing to see, to be honest. But Chelsea won't care. They're just happy they're ahead. Modric into Benzema. Brings it down near towards the edge and has to drift out wide right to keep it. He's got Chilwell on his back, but he does find the former Spurs man Luka Modric. Now to Varane. Switching it from right to left now with Toni Kroos. Marcelo. Vinicius Jr. Spins Azpilicueta, but has to try and take on the Spaniard again. Goes inside to Casemiro. Kills it out wide right to Eder Militao. Struggling to find any spaces here. Chelsea defending with a lot of, solidity. This is Kroos. Left-footed cross deflected off Kante towards the 6-yard area, but it's an easy collection for Edouard Mendy, and that a little attack just settles down for Chelsea as they can breathe again on the ball. How are Chelsea actually going to get to the final? I know it's mental. Tuchel comes in and you can just see the change of quality of management. Nothing against Lampard, I just don't think he was ready. Real difference you can see in Chelsea's play, just how more tactical they are and how much, the little details are just a lot different. They really look at everything and just think of what they can do to improve, and it's great to see because obviously when I do my commentaries I've got to pick a game and a time that fits when I can do the notes and all that, and it's always Chelsea, so I've done loads of Chelsea since Tuchel's come over, maybe too much Chelsea, and you can really see the impact he's had, Tuchel, and I don't think they would have got this far with Lampard, if I'm going to be honest. Again, that's nothing against Lampard, I just think Tuchel's just a lot better of a coach, and it's shown. As Kroos has it with Eder Militao. Modric finds Militao with a 1-2 and then back inside to Carvajal and wants him to continue his run, Carvajal, but Militao didn't want to commit too far forward and it now falls to Rudiger. Jorginho first time ball to Thiago Silva. But if you are new, please subscribe and like. Hope you're enjoying the live audio commentary. Christensen back to Thiago Silva on the edge of the box. Looks forward and sends it forward towards Mount, who hooks it over the top looking for Timo Werner. He's been pulled down by Militao. Is he onside? Yeah, got away with that. Militao pulled down Werner. Could have been a yellow and a free kick, but Werner was in an offside position when the ball was played, or just think about it, would have been a close one. Varane on the opposite side maybe played him on. It would have been a question of it. It's not. It's crazy not to think not long ago Chelsea were losing 4 games in a row and currently they're in the final of the Champions League. It is crazy, but like I said, they had the players to get to this stage. They really do, and it just shows under a good manager they've done it. Chelsea have won it back in the middle of the park. I think that's Casemiro just falling a little short in possession for Real Madrid. They've already worked it to Chilwell, one of the scorers against Porto in that first leg, to see them into this semi-final. Kante, back to Antonio Rudiger. Now over to Ben Chilwell again. Mount inside the Real Madrid half. They're just playing it around here, Chelsea, because if they could get a second goal and a second away goal, it could really, really question, the chances of Real Madrid progressing to another final. It's over to Azpilicueta. Lays it back over to Andres Christensen. Getting pressed by Vinicius Junior, but we'll find Edouard Mendy. Great career for Edouard Mendy in terms of career change. At the age of 22, he registered for unemployment, and then a couple of years later, he was back playing in the French team because a mate asked him to come along because I think Marseille needed a goalkeeper. And then now he's at Chelsea in the Champions League semi-finals. Pulisic breaks away on the edge, lays it in towards Werner in the box. Too much on it. Just about keeps it in from going out of play, but it falls right to Militao, who then finds Cruz, and it's now with Nacho Fernandez on the edge of the box as Chelsea again fail with another attack, but it's just promising signs. Tuchel won't see them as failed attacks, but just more opportunities created. It's cleared up towards Rudiger. His touch is poor and allows Benzema to just nip in quickly and take the ball away from the German. And he goes inside to Casemiro. Not many players forward here. It's only Casemiro, Vinicius Junior and Benzema forward, and now he's got some support of Cruz into Vinicius Junior. Finds Benzema around 22 yards out. Gets a shot away with the left foot, and I think it skims the post. Close. Very close from Benzema. He gets a round of applause from his manager for the attempt. That wasn't far away. Received the ball on the left foot and then struck it with the left boot. And a cross goal he aimed for. Looking for that top corner. Edouard Mendy was beaten. And beaten to a good attempt, by the way. It wasn't poor goalkeeping. Got nowhere near it, and it was close to nestling into the top corner, but it's come off the outside of the post. And Chelsea survive as they break away. Pulisic. It deflects off Marcelo right to Kante. He's got Werner in behind, and he'll feed it towards the German again. Too much on it, and this time he can't avoid the goal kick. And out it goes for Real Madrid. Need to use that better. Great chance. Kante had the ball in the midfield. Werner peeled off and made a run. If the pass was better, that could be 2-0. And I think Thomas Tuchel is frustrated with that as the rain pours in Madrid. All of a sudden it has started to pour down with rain. So it's Toni Kroos deep in the Madrid half with the ball. Over to Marcelo, just behind him, and he can't retreat the ball. And out it goes, the captain can't keep it in. Actually, Marcelo, very isolated this season. He played 13 league games, and this is only his second Champions League appearance. I mean, not in terms of starting. I mean, first Champions League appearance was against Shakhtar Donetsk in the first game where they, played out a 3-2 result. And from then, he was on the bench a few times, injured a few times, and this is only the second time he's played in the competition this season as he nearly nicks away from Azpilicueta, but he works it to Kante. 1-2, and Kante breaks away on the right. There's no one there on the right-hand side. Varane's going to have to come over and try and close him down as he pulls it back to Pulisic. Once more over to Chilwell. Fancies it with the right foot as it deflects towards the far post. And wide it goes. Chelsea nearly in again. Marcelo being caught out on the left. You could tell he's might be a little bit game rusty, Marcelo. That Chelsea right-hand side is open so many times. Chilwell just hit a misplaced shot there and wide it went. But Kante on the right broke away just after a 1-2 of Azpilicueta and picked the right option in the end. He did work it to Chilwell, but on his weak foot, it's not really the person you want shooting from just towards the edge of the box. They've won it back, ball down the line by Fernandez, picked up by Christensen. It's now a Kante. Good strong challenge from Marcelo though, and he wins it back for Real Madrid with Casemiro in his own half. Back to Rafael Varane. Now Nacho Fernandez, number 6, over to Rafael Varane again. He's won 18 trophies at Madrid, 3 La Ligas in that time, and also was alongside the 4 Champions League wins in recent times for Madrid under Zinedine Zidane. So a great record for Varane, who also did win the World Cup as well in 2018. 18 in that very, very strong French squad. Very good French squad, young French squad as well, and they'll be looking to try and compete at that level again coming into the Euros. And here's another Frenchman who hasn't played for the French national team since 2015, Benzema. Well, it's Casemiro on the right. Many, many blue shirts back for Chelsea, shutting down any room and space as it's Kroos. Looking for a switch towards Dani Carvajal. Tries to hit it first time inside. Can't find Modric. Picked up by Mason Mount. Jinxes away from the Croatian. Oh, he tries to switch it, but the ref's in the way. And the play's going to have to be stopped because it hit the referee. Not much he could do about it, the ref there. He's just running forward and he's been caught in the crossfire. But the ball's been dropped and it does allow Madrid really to get back in position. So quite frustrating that for Chelsea really, because they had a good chance to get forward on the right-hand side. Going from left to right with the Mount pass. As we go back to Jorginho. Like I said before, Brazilian-born Jorginho. Moved to Italy at age 15. Born in Batuba in Brazil. And then declared Italian citizenship as Vinicius Junior puts a strong challenge there on Christian Pulisic, And it's only going to be a yellow card for Vinicius Junior. The ball was there to be won. Both players have gone in, and Vinicius Junior, despite the complaints, is going to pick up a yellow card. We'll have to see it on the replay. There to be won. Pulisic has gone in. He's won the ball, to be fair. I don't think there's much wrong with that. Vinicius Junior gets a good chunk of the ball, gets Pulisic in between him and does cause contact. I mean, I don't think there's much wrong there. Wins the ball. It's there to be won. I think he's overreacted there, the referee. I could be looking at it wrong. But for me, I think, got a good chunk of the ball. I know he might have took the man first, but even if he did take the man first, I wouldn't say it's a yellow. The ball's there to be won. He's not really mistimed it because he did get the ball in the end. But it's back with Chelsea. Azpilicueta into Kante. First time ball. It does fall to Pulisic. He gets away from Nacho Fernandez and the breaks on again. Over to Mount. He's got Chilwell to his left. Plays it to him. Werner's in the box. Looks to the pull back there, Chilwell, but it's been cut out and played forward by Militao to Modric. And again, Chelsea nearly getting through. As it's now with Benzema. Peeled over to the right hand side. He goes over to the left with Toni Kroos. He's got Vinicius Junior in support to his left. And will lay it off to the Brazilian on the edge. Plays it back through towards Kroos. He's in the box and swings the left boot at it as he looks to find Benzema in the box. But it deflects off Christensen. And a corner kick it is for Real Madrid. From defence to attack very quickly in this game because the pitch isn't the biggest. And obviously not playing at the Santiago Bernabeu. Thanks to everyone who is here. Decent amount of people and good like, so happy with the turnout. As Kroos is standing over it, it's going to be a right foot in swinging cross from Toni Kroos. He goes short to Modric instead, then lays it off to Marcelo, who will then lift it into the box towards Varane, who heads it into the centre where it's flicked on, falls to Benzema, who volleys, and it's into the back of the net. Easy as you like. Karim Benzema, who lived in the shadow of Cristiano Ronaldo for so many years, he's been released, and he's showing his true colours, as he did score lots of goals while Ronaldo was here, but now he's the main man and bagging the goals when they're needed the most. Great goal. Well worked. Marcelo put it towards the back post where it was actually Casemiro who nodded it back in and flicked on by Militao, and it dropped to Benzema who brought it down. Let's have a look. Clipped to the back post. Sorry, it's Casemiro who did head it back in, not Varane. Then flicked on by Militao. I think came off the head of Benzema and sat up nicely for a volley. Wasn't closed down quick enough, Karim Benzema, by Thiago Silva or Christensen. Volleyed it and then dead centre of the goal. It's too quick for Mendy to react. And Madrid are back in it at 1-1. As Christensen sends it down the line. Out for a throw-in for Real Madrid. Very good goal by Benzema. Yes, what he does, he's lethal in front of goal. 40th appearance this season, all competitions. Now 28 goals. 6 of them now in the Champions League. None of them did come against Liverpool. Didn't score against Liverpool, but he has against Chelsea. And when his team was conceding a lot of chances, it looks like they were going to concede next, he's gone back on level terms and just made the game a lot less stressful for Madrid, as they have lost it as Christensen sees the ball out for a goal kick as he was being pressured by Vinicius Junior. Like I said, Casemiro did well on Azpilicueta at the far post to head it back inside, and then Militao also did even better to just flick it on towards Benzema, who then just hit his face or head, and it laid up nicely for a right-footed volley, and that's what Benzema did, and he did it with no mercy, smashes it past Edouard Mendy, and we are all level in this Champions League semi-final. As Jorginho picks it up in the midfield, forward to Kante, over to Pulisic, just inside the Chelsea half on the right, enters the Madrid half, goes over to Mason Mount, the ball from Pulisic. Now Chilwell, back to Mount. Tries to get a cross in, deflects off Casemiro, and a corner kick it'll be for Chelsea. Absolutely pouring in rain in Madrid, by the way. Mount just looking for a hopeful cross and raw right in the stomach of Casemiro. That will wind him. Great goal from Madrid. Ball in from Marcelo, headed in by Casemiro, flicked on by Militao, falls to the man that they wanted it to the most, which is Karim Benzema. One touch, volley, boom. Edouard Mendy, absolutely no chance. Can only watch it hit the net. And it got Madrid back on level terms. And like I said, they were struggling. They were conceding a lot of chances. Yes, they were making a few chances themselves, but didn't look like they were going to score next. But it'll be Chelsea to score next as Mount puts the ball in. And it falls to the hands of Courtois. And he throws it out quickly to Vinicius Jr. on the left. He's got to take on Jorginho, and he does do so with ease. Vinicius Jr. on the left. He's got Chilwell to take on if he can. Plays it over to the right-hand side to Carvajal. On the edge of the box. Plays it over to Benzema on the right. Lifts in the ball to the edge to Kroos. Chests it down the German. Takes a touch and strikes it himself and just wide of the far post. And Real Madrid on the counter-attack this time, looking to score. And very unfortunately, just wide by Toni Kroos. What a game this is. I love the Champions League. Super League, go away. Leave our game. And also, sorry, I'm just knocking something off the camera. And UEFA, don't change the game. It does not need to be changed. You know, they're looking for a format change. Don't do it. Why? Not needed. This is perfect. The fans love it. I know you don't care about the fans. You know, it's become evident, you know. But show some care. Show some compassion. Anyway, bit sidetracked there, but you know what I mean. Just really enjoying the game, basically. It is a fantastic game so far. Thanks to that new subscriber. We'll hit 575 subscribers. Thank you very much. You know, hitting a nice milestone there. Aspilicueta hooks over his head on. As far as Marcelo in the Chelsea half. 1-2 with Benzema. Marcelo furthest forward here in the striking position. Shifts it over to Luka Modric on the right. He was the 2018 Ballon d'Or winner and World Cup finalist. Modric, as he plays it towards Vinicius Jr. Looks for the dummy towards Benzema, but he doesn't get through to Karim Benzema, and it's now Chelsea back in possession, and they've already shifted it out wide left to Mason Mount. He's got Chilwell again in support, always making those runs down that left channel. Mount back to Antonio Rudiger, who picked up the assist for the Pulisic goal, which was very well taken by the American in the 14th minute. Now to Christensen on the right-hand side, centre-back. Now into Thiago Silva. Chilwell, first time inside to Mount, just about got there Militao and had to go through the back of Mount, and he's left Mount in a little bit of a heap there as he stays down, but it seemed a fair challenge. As Mount does get back to his feet as he hobbles, but that's a misplaced pass by Werner. By Real Madrid, and picked up by Werner. Well read that by Timo Werner. Or should I say Turbo Timo, as he's nicknamed in Germany as a youngster, just because of his sheer pace and acceleration. But Chelsea are back in possession, and Mount is back on his feet. I'll have to use that if he scores, Werner, but he should have already scored, to be fair, and he missed from 6 yards. That was before they went 1-0 up. And Edouard Mendy sends it forward. Headed won by Werner. Down the right-hand side towards Pulisic, who will just put Varane under pressure and forced him to kick it out for a throw-in on the halfway line for Chelsea. Yeah, that challenge from Militao went right through Mount, but won the ball perfectly. A good old-fashioned slide challenge, and rightfully the play continued. Throw-in taken. It'll be Nacho Fernandes to pick it up from Madrid instead of a Chelsea blue shirt, and it's now Courtois who sends it upfield towards Benzema. Can't win the header on Christensen, but Kroos does on Kante. But Vinicius Jr. doesn't on Christensen, and Chelsea have the ball back now. It's Kante who's been played through by Jorginho. He's going to burst forward and lay it off to the right to Pulisic, who then goes across, blocked off by Varane. Falls back to Christian Pulisic, who will then put it over again. Too much on it. Werner can't head it goal bound, And out for a throw, and it goes on the opposite side. 35 minutes in, it's 1-1. Thomas Tuchel soaked in the Madrid rain. Ben Chilwell's even having to wipe his eyes to make sure, the water doesn't, or the rain doesn't, block his eyesight. When you get rain in your eyes and you've got to wipe it away like that. It is coming down quite heavy, to be fair. It was dry before the kick-off. Chelsea already back in possession as we return to the game. With Pulisic, Thiago Silva, back to Edouard Mendy. 6 attempts for Chelsea, 3 for Madrid, 1 goal apiece. As Mendy clips it forward towards Werner on the halfway line, centre circle, wins the first header and wins the second as he kicks it forward to Pulisic. Has to hold it up. Goes to Kante. Over to the right to Azpilicueta. Back to Andres Christensen. Jorginho. Mounts on the left and he uses Chilwell, who's even further left. Takes a touch and then plays it back to Mount on the edge. Jorginho. Back to Antonio Rudiger. Now finds Thiago Silva as he enters the attack. He wants to strike from range and quite the way, but that's only because it took a deflection on the way. Quite a nice corner one actually there by the 36-year-old Brazilian. From literally about 30 yards out, 35 yards out, he had a speculative effort, but there was a Madrid player in the way, deflects off the back of a defender, and out for a corner it goes. I mean, he was never going to score from that range, so the fact he's nicked a corner is quite impressive from Thiago Silva. And it's on the Chelsea left. It will be Mount to take, so another in-swinging corner. Crossed in and headed away by Casemiro this time. Jorginho wins the header on Vinicius Jr. on the edge. Christian flicks it on, but cleared away only as far as Chilwell on the right. He'll let it run for a throw-in for Chelsea so he can get back in position, so can everyone else. And Tuchel's there, ball in hand. Now 22nd game as Chelsea manager. He's won 14, drew 5, lost 2, keeping 16 clean sheets. Won't be keeping another one today. Pulisic loses it to Marcelo and has to cynically take down the left wing back. And a yellow card it'll be for Christian Pulisic. Just on that right hand side there where the throw-in was picked up, Pulisic ended up receiving the ball and then showing too much to Marcelo. And like I said, the left wing back could bring it away. And Pulisic having to recover. Just had to eventually take out Marcelo. Like I said, cynically. And the yellow card is rightly given to Captain America. So we get back underway with Casemiro. Modric lifted over to Toni Kroos. Now back to Nacho Fernandez, the winner of the Under-17s 2007 Euros with Spain and also won the Under-21 Euros in 2013 with Spain. Nacho Fernandez. Up towards Benzema, cleared away by Antonio Rudiger. Nicely brought down by Chilwell. He goes inside to Jorginho. Chilwell inside the Chelsea half. Tackled by Danny Carvajal. Ben Chilwell there, but it's a throw in for Chelsea. Who's right on the edge of the pitch as Carvajal's just gone down onto his knees. Unsure why. I'll let you know if he has to come off or anything. Just went in there to tackle Chilwell and he won the ball, so I'm not quite sure what's wrong with Carvajal here. Let's have a look. I think he put his right leg out and Chilwell's ran right into his right leg as he took the ball off him, and I think he's just felt the impact of Chilwell's body running right into him, which is fair enough. So we continue with the throw into Chelsea, up towards Pulisic, but it's been won easily by Nacho Fernandez as we've got a bit of slip and sliding going on now. Ball switched over to Vinicius Jr. on the left. First time laid down towards Marcelo on the edge. Just a bit behind him and Kante can bring it away. Poke it towards Pulisic. Pressure by Kroos. Brought down by Toni Kroos and a foul by Toni Kroos. I think it was a little soft there. I think Pulisic was already going down before the foul was committed. And look at that Benzema goal. Good win of a header by Casemiro, same by Militao. Forced to Benzema and just a deadly instinct finish by former Lyon player. Chilwell. Back to Rudiger towards the corner flag. Does end up clearing down the line. towards Mount. Cannons off his head and out for a throw-in for Real Madrid, which will be taken by Dani Carvajal. Back he has to go to the halfway. Now Cruz. Nacho Fernandez. Driving the ball forward, backing it to Marcelo. Fancies across on the left foot. Goes for it, chest down by Thiago Silva to Christensen. He then plays it forward to Kante. Gets it through the gap to Pulisic. Another counter-attack is on. Plays it forward to Werner. He's peeled onto the right-hand side. He's one-on-one with Varane. Goes for an early strike, but it's always going wide. And there's complaints by Mount asking for the ball. And Werner was saying, well, where's my support? Where's the run? It wasn't, compatible for me to play it towards you. So why should I play it? There really wasn't much for Werner there. It was well defended by Varane and shooting towards the near post. Werner trying to make up for his earlier miss within the first 10 minutes of the game, but couldn't quite do so there. Timo Werner. Madrid playing it forward towards Casemiro. Just pushed off the ball really, too easily by Jorginho, and Chelsea break. Kante keeping it away from Carvajal. Just about getting away from Militao despite getting a good chunk of the ball there, the Brazilian centre-back. And it's now a Mason Mount over to Chilwell. No one in the box to cross to, so it goes down the line to Kante, who can't burst away from Militao. And he loses the ball, Kante. Militao charges down the right-hand side and runs out of room in the end and dribbles out of the pitch. And out for a throw and goes for Chelsea, taken quickly, and it's already back towards Thiago Silva. He's inside the Madrid half. Over to Antonio Rudiger. Mount over to Chilwell. Back to Jorginho. About 15-20 yards away from the edge of the 18-yard box. Back to Rudiger. Over to Thiago Silva. Working the space, working the time, working the room. Christensen to Azpilicueta. Tries to go inside, but he's lost it. Misplaced, and it's now a Benzema. Over to Modric. First time ball. Looking out wide left to Cruz. Too much on it. It slid and slide. It slips and slides out of plays. The pitch will be so wet now with the added rain. That's a foul by Marcelo before. When Azpilicueta played the ball inside, he was swiped by Marcelo, and it's definitely a foul. I don't get how the ref hasn't seen that. But Chelsea have got the ball back anyway with a throw-in, so I guess it doesn't really matter now. Azpilicueta, long throw down the line into the Real Madrid half, won by Nacho Fernandez. Which now falls to Eder Militao. Back to Thibaut Courtois we go, the 6'6" Belgian. He's kept 50 clean sheets now for Real Madrid since joining in 2018. Carvajal tries to go down the line, cut out by, I think that's Chilwell, who's just gone down there. And they've got a throw in here, Real Madrid. I think he just got wounded a little bit there as he intercepted it, Chilwell. Chilwell just still holding the certain region that you don't want the ball to be hitting, that's for sure. He'll be okay though, Chilwell. Keeping out Marcos Alonso currently, formerly of Real Madrid. Marcos Alonso. We do get back underway, Real Madrid now in the 18-yard box with Varane. Over it goes to Nacho Fernandez, who will drive forward with the ball just before half-time. Plays the ball down the line, caught out by Azpilicueta, only as far as Varane. Then finds Cruz. Tries to go forward, but blocked off by Pulisic. And a throw-in it is for Madrid again, inside their own half. Nacho Fernandez on the ball. We've got 40 seconds until we find out if there is any added on time. Carvajal. Side to Modric. Carvajal. Back we go all the way to Thibaut Courtois. Now Rafael Varane. Inside the Madrid half. Over to Eder Militao. Then over with a nice ball to Toni Kroos. Casemiro again. Left-footed ball lifted. Looking for Vinicius Junior in behind. Again misplaced and a throw in for Chelsea halfway into their own half as we've hit the 45th minute. Is there any time added on? No, there is not. The referee will blow for half time. It is Real Madrid 1, Chelsea 1 Timo Werner had a massive chance early on for Chelsea just before they did go 1-0 up in the end, and it was a goal that he should have, or a chance he definitely should have scored, Timo Werner. But then, thankfully for him, in the 14th minute, Christian Pulisic got on the end of a beautiful Antonio Rudiger lifted ball in behind, brought it down, rounded the keeper, and got it past the two defenders on the line to give Chelsea an early lead. But then just around 15 or so minutes later, Karim Benzema popped up with a goal. A short corner worked to the edge of the box to Marcelo, who clipped it to the back post. Who then found Casemiro, headed it into the box, flicked on by Militao to Benzema, came off his head and then laid up perfectly for a right-footed volley, which he crashed into the back of the net. And then from then, it's been end to end, it's been chances galore, it's been a very thrilling and entertaining Champions League semi-final, but it is only to the extent of a 1-1 draw as we go in at half-time. Fantastic game. Really, really enjoying it. Thanks to everyone who's here. 8 likes, 5 people. Hope you're enjoying the audio commentary. If you are new, please subscribe as well. That would be fantastic. But yeah, what do we think for the second half? We've got any more score predictions? We had a 2-1 in the chat to Madrid, and that could definitely happen. You know, Chelsea got off to such a good start early on, but you know, despite scoring, they do go in at the break 1-1. I mean, Real Madrid really didn't have many unbelievable chances. They had good chances, don't get me wrong, but not anything that, you know, shouts out to you. It was mainly Chelsea getting those kind of attacks because they were getting the dangerous attacks on the counter and nearly making the most of some of them, but some of them were just cut out by if that was a misplaced pass or someone wasn't on the same wavelength and it cut down. And really, Chelsea should be more than only 1 goal to the good in terms of their scoring. You know, obviously in terms of the game, they're not 1 to the good, they're 1-1. In terms of their own scoring, they should be 1 more or maybe even a few, because some counter-attacks, if they just got the last pass right, so if that's either Pulisic, Werner, Mount, I think they could have had a few more goals, but decision-making not quite on it for Chelsea, and that means they go into the break 1-1, and a lack of concentration at the back due to a short corner, and then it lifted into the box, and they couldn't even deal with the first ball, or the second, or even the third, means they are 1-1 at half-time, and it's a tight game, it really is. Let's have a drink quickly. Just going to check Instagram as well to see if anyone's saying anything about the game. Because we just have to wait now till the second half begins. That's the half we all wanted. At least it's been entertaining rather than one-sided. It's not even the fact it's been one-sided or boring. Like you said, both teams have been getting on the ball and attacking when they could. Like I said, Madrid not being able to do it quite as freely as Chelsea, who found a lot of space in behind Real Madrid and just found a lot of space just within the Real Madrid half. You know, Chelsea have limited Real Madrid to not many clear-cut chances. Benzema did also hit the post within that half, if you remember. A left-footed strike around 22 yards out, hit the outside of the post. So they have had a few good chances of their own, and in the end they did get back in the game after being 1-0 down and getting it back to 1-1 and, you know, not letting the game get away from them, because it looked like Chelsea could have really scored more than what they got. And obviously, like I said, I think in the half-time bit, you know, Timo Werner's chance, that miss from literally 6 yards, absolute shocker of a miss. Everyone is just absolutely baffled by how he's missed it. Yeah, he really is. Well, I mean, the whole social media is, rightly so. Literally, lovely headed down pass by Pulisic straight into Timo Werner. When I mean 6 yards out, he was literally on the 6 yard line. All he's got to do is put it into a corner, you know, something that he's paid to do and something that he should be able to do. But he hits it just slightly to the right of Thibaut Courtois, and that just allows him to get down quickly and stop it with his right foot. And Real Madrid could, you know, breathe again. But that should have been a goal by Timo Werner. tackling miss after miss after miss for Timo Werner, unfortunately. Not something that he'll want to be known as. He is a good finisher. At Leipzig, he was a fantastic finisher. Scored many goals at Leipzig. Timo Werner got 95 in 159 appearances for Leipzig, and this season in the Premier League he's not scored too many, only the 6. So he needs to do a lot better. Especially the simple chances he's getting. But I've just read as well, Christian Pulisic was the first American to ever score in a Champions League semi-finals. That's a great achievement for Christian Pulisic, and his goal was absolutely fantastic. It really was. Was my man of the match in the second leg of the Porto game. I think he was the most fouled player in a game since 2000 and something, when Messi was fouled, and that was long ago. The amount of fouls he won that game, the amount of times he got battered and bruised and brought down, but he just got up and kept going, fighting for the team. And honestly, he was fantastic against Porto, and he has been again today. Like I said, those counter-attacks, all that front three, and Kante, if they were decision-making was a bit better when counter-attacking and finding the right pass and the right weight of pass. Because sometimes the pass was there and it was easy to know which pass to make, but it's about executing that pass, and that's just something they didn't do that often. And when they did, it was either the final cross or the final shot that ended up meaning that they messed the chance up, and in the end it cost them, because they ended up being pegged back to 1-1, and then it kind of dried up from there, their chances, because then Madrid grew in confidence, and then they started to create some chances and counter-attacks of their own. So it's interesting to see this game, because I thought Real Madrid, and I can't believe how many of this squad is still here from when they won those 4 Champions Leagues. Carvajal, he's been there for all 4 Champions Leagues. The first one they won, bear in mind, in 2013, 2014 against Atletico Madrid 4-1, when Carlo Ancelotti was manager. From that first win, you got Carvajal, you got Varane, Modric as well, Casemiro, Toni Kroos, Karim Benzema as well. You got Marcelo. You got, I think Isco was there for all of them as well. There's been so many who are still about, and I think Chelsea could have them here. They're not, like I said, 3 0-0s in the last 4 games in all competitions. Madrid. That's not a lot of goals, as you can tell. And I think the one game in those 4 that wasn't 0-0, I think was 1-0. So not scoring many. I thought Chelsea could have these, and in the first 15-20 minutes, I thought, yeah, they have. They've scored. The counter-attacking, they're making chances. But like we say, with that experience Madrid have got, they're no strangers to a big occasion like this. So they'll know how to handle it and how to stay calm, and that's what they did. And they are back in the game. Will they need to take a win from this game to give themselves the best chance? Yes. Because if they go into the next leg at Stamford Bridge, it being 1-1 or 2-2, those 2 away goals for Chelsea will be absolutely massive, and they'll defend those 2 away goals like everything rides on it. So I think they have to try and win this game. Real Madrid, if that is 2-1, if that's 3-1, if that's 3-2, however the scoreline is, I think Real Madrid have got to try and take this game and try and win it to give them the best chance to win this game, because Tuchel's side, they're taking no prisoners. They're set up well. They are tactically in depth with their info, and like I said, just got to be careful. Real Madrid, they really do, because they knew this wouldn't have been an easy game, and they haven't got to a final for a long time. Well, a long time for Real Madrid. The last time they won the competition was in the 2017-2018 final, which, if my memory serves me right, it was against Juventus. Last 2 seasons, the last 16 eliminations. Last season it was to Manchester City. The season before that was to Ajax. Yes, a very good Ajax team. I remember watching the game. It was unbelievable to see Ajax just run all over Real Madrid in their own stadium. But they need to try and make the most of this home leg. Stats and info on points normal. Thank you very much. But yeah, second half, just about 5 minutes or so. We'll change it to second half as well. Well, yeah, what do we think as well for tomorrow's game? Big game, City v PSG. I won't be commentating on it. The next commentary, it might change, so follow the Instagram. Follow the Instagram and you'll find out there. And just subscribe as well, because I always schedule my commentaries. It is, if I'm pretty sure, Leeds versus Brighton versus Leeds on Saturday, 3 o'clock. That's what it is currently. I'm actually going to have a look now, see if I can change it, because my non-league team plays on 3 o'clock on Saturday, and I won't mind watching it because it's getting quite tense in that league. So, yeah. So I'm going to have a look, see if I can do any others. If I can't, then it is what it is. The thing is, Chelsea Fulham at R5 I'll do, but I cannot do Chelsea again. The amount of times I've written notes about Chelsea, it's actually hurting my head. So I can't do that. I'm just thinking of a game, to be honest. There's no game really fits. You know what I mean? What are the Bundesliga games saying? So currently it is still Brighton versus Leeds, but I do want to change it because I do want to watch my non-league team play on Saturday. Because again, like I say, it's a big game. Ooh, no, that is not this Saturday, is it? That's annoying. Bundesliga I haven't playing weekend. Must have a week off. It's a difficult one. It really is. Because I need to try and change it if I can. Because I would do Crystal Palace Man City at 12:30, but I've got a game on Saturday, or at the time being. So that'd just be very, very, close on time, and it's just not worth it, really. I think the only other one I can do is Tottenham Sheffield United on Sunday. In fact, I don't mind a Sunday night kick-off game because it just is what it is. It's quite chill and relaxed. So I think we're going to have a change on that. So instead of Brighton versus Leeds, we are going to do Tottenham Sheffield United. That's the next commentary. Tottenham Sheffield United, Sunday 2nd of May, 7:15 kick-off. I'm going to have to do it just to, be able to watch my team, which is, understandable. It's a big game. We're in a title race, my team. Not in the Premier League, in non-league, don't worry. Non-league. So just before half-time, let me just give that a change. I'm just writing down, I keep it written down what games I'm doing. We did Tottenham not long ago. We played, we did a commentary on Tottenham versus Southampton when they won 2-1. So we've done them recently. And we also did Sheffield United not too long ago when they played Arsenal. That was, including this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 commentaries ago. So I'll be interested to see how Tottenham do at home to relegated Sheffield United, who have got nothing to play for. So after the upset of the cup final defeat, I think Tottenham will be wanting to bounce back with a win, but then Sheffield United will want to cause an upset as well because they've got nothing to play for. So that'll be a good game. So next commentary, 2nd of May, 7:15 p.m. Sunday, Spurs versus Sheffield United. Make sure you're here. It should be a cracking game. And then obviously next Wednesday as well, 5th of May, next Wednesday, 8 days' time, the second leg of Chelsea-Real Madrid at Stamford Bridge. Make sure you're here because you don't want to miss it, because no matter what this game finishes, it will be all to play for at Stamford Bridge. And then the weekend after that, so on the 9th of May, it's another Sunday night kick-off. It's Arsenal versus West Brom, who we just commentated on West Brom in the last one, when they played Aston Villa away, and they played fantastically. It was such an entertaining game, that one. Aston Villa, West Brom. So make sure you're there for that one. That's in a week and a half's time on the 9th of May, so a bit of time until that one. And then obviously I've got nothing else planned after that. Obviously I've got to wait for new fixture dates to be announced, and we've got championship playoffs coming up, which I'm going to commentate on one of them, because obviously I'll probably commentate on one semi-final of the playoffs. So I'll do one semi-final, commentate on both legs, and then I'll commentate on the championship playoff final, as long as it's not live streamed on YouTube by Sky. So that'll be something to look forward to. We've got the final weeks of the Premier League to finish off. I won't be commentating the Champions League final because the Champions League final is televised live on YouTube, where you can watch it with commentary. So there's no real need for me to do a commentary on it, because the main reason I do commentaries is because not everyone can, get these streaming and these TV rights and services. You can't really pay for them, and some people do need an alternative to, try and, what's the word, get the best description of the game as they can. So, yeah, because like it is for the last few years with BT, it has been live on YouTube, so there's just no real need for me to do one, really. So that will be given this. But like I said, we've got the final weeks of the Premier League, we've got a relegation battle going on and race for Europe, we've got this next leg of the Champions League semi-final, we've got the Championship playoffs to come up with some commentaries, which I haven't done Championship teams this season. I've only done Bournemouth in the FA Cup, so that'll be something new for me. And then we've got some Euro commentaries, Euro 2020 commentaries as well. I'll be doing some group stage games, some knockout games. So it's all exciting. So make sure you subscribe. It's all happening on this channel. 2 commentaries a week at least. So yeah, just make sure you are subscribed and you don't miss a commentary, because, why wouldn't you want to miss one of my commentaries? I'm joking. But yeah, we're about to go underway for the second half. Both teams have Venom mixes in the chat. Sorry you're late. Don't matter, mate. Don't worry. It's just a lot. As long as you're here now, that's all that matters. But yeah, we're about to go underway. Chelsea kicking right to left. Real Madrid left to right. Chelsea to kick off with Timo Werner. It's 1-1. We've kicked off the second half. Which way will it end? Christensen forwards. Pulisic caught. Blocked off by Nacho Fernandez. Sends the ball forward and out for a throw-in for Chelsea. And a quick throw-in taken down the line towards Werner. By Varane, but works the ball away from him and then finds Pulisic on the right. Gets beyond Cruz and Nacho Fernandez, but not Militao. Strong challenge by the Brazilian centre-back, but falls only as far as the Chelsea shirt. Has now worked it over to Antonio Rudiger. Chilwell to Mountain on the left. Fancies a cross straight into Thibaut Courtois, and he's an easy save in the end for the Belgian. Militao. Back to Thibaut Courtois. To the left-hand side of the box to Varane. Swipes it over to Fernandez. Back to Varane. Bit of a dodgy clearance there, but cannons off Kante to Casemiro, and he clears only as far as Christensen, the Danish international for Chelsea. Now Thiago Silva lays it back into Christensen. All the way over to now Edouard Mendy, the Senegalese goalkeeper. 9 appearances for his country, 7 clean sheets. He loves a clean sheet. Edouard Mendy, he's got 22 this season in 38. Rudiger looks for the gap in between Varane and I think Militao, looking for Werner, but there's too much on it in the end, and it will roll out for a goal kick, and it'll be taken quickly by Courtois, and he gets the return off Casemiro. Militao drives it forward and lifts the ball into the Chelsea half towards Vinicius Junior, but it's Thiago Silva to win the ball, and Kante hooks away as far as Casemiro poked forward to Modric. Carvajal over to Rafael Varane. Cruz. Ball inside by Fernandez to Benzema. Tries to lay it back into him, but it's been cut off, and it's now Jorginho on the ball. Lays it out wide right to Azpilicueta. Forward to Kante. He's furthest right. He's got everything to his left. Plays it down the line to Pulisic. Keeps the ball away from Varane. And plays back to Azpilicueta. Back into Pulisic. Azpilicueta again. Forced to the ground and dispossessed in the end by Real Madrid. And it can be cleared away in the end by Varane. Hesitates, but does send it down the line. It just about gets to Cruz. Marcelo. Pass boxed off by Jorginho. Kante prods it forward to Werner, who then strikes. It's a strong block by Militao. Corner kick for Chelsea. Marcelo caught there in possession. Cleared unconvincingly, and then Cruz to Marcelo. Tried to zip it quickly into Benzema. Picked up by Kante, then poked it to Werner, and as quick as he could on the right, tried to squeeze the shot away, but the angle was tight, and it was a good block in the end by Eder Militao. Played short to Jorginho on the edge. Back towards Mason Mount on the right-hand side. He's got loads of players in the box and really overhits it there, Mason Mount. And he goes all the way over for a throw-in, or did it already go out when the cross was originally put in by Mount? Let's have a look. Camera, short, show me. Okay, they don't want to show me. I think it might have been a goal kick. As he was swinging it in, Mount, he might have swung out a play. Yes, he did. So, goal kick it was, and Madrid will build from the back as they're under a bit of pressure in the early stages of the second half, with Militao bringing it forward. That's the result, going back to the right wing back Dani Carvajal. Now Modric outside of the boot ball, over to the left to Toni Kroos, forward to Nacho Fernandez. Back to goal as Cesar Azpilicueta forces him backwards, and as he tries to play it, he's been stuck here between Kante and Azpilicueta, but somehow he's got in between them and he's got the ball away from them, and he's now with Modric, who tries to get it over the top towards Vinicius Junior, who will give chase, but Thiago Silva will get there first, and he will go inside to Jorginho. Benzema tries to press, but he releases to Azpilicueta. Now to Thiago Silva. Switches it over towards Antonio Rudiger. He's got all the time in the world, Antonio Rudiger. He wasn't included in the Euros 2016 squad with Germany because of injury, but then did get the chance to be called up to the 2018 squad, Antonio Rudiger, for the World Cup, and then from there he's now played, 40 German games for his country, and he's now becoming a key part of this Chelsea squad in that left centre-back position in this back three, as Jorginho has been pickpocketed in the midfield, and it's now Vinicius Junior works it out wide left to Benzema. What a chance this could be for Real Madrid. On the edge of the box, he cuts onto his right foot and doesn't quite catch the ball like he would have wanted to there. Benzema mishits it, and it was always rising over the crossbar, and Jorginho's a lucky boy. He's caught in possession there, just dawdling on the ball too much, and Benzema could have punished it if he had, sorted his feet out a bit better, got the ball under a bit of better control. Now ball forward by Chelsea, collected by Courtois and rolled out by the Belgian. Picked up by Modric. Nice ball forward to Casemiro. Sends it to the right hand side where Benzema will give chase and get there first and look inside towards, I think he looked towards Casemiro, but it came off Chilwell and out for a throw in on the right for Real Madrid. Militao drags it back and goes over to Thibaut Courtois. He's played all minutes in La Liga this season. Thibaut Courtois, and he's played all games in minutes in the Champions League. Keeping the 4 clean sheets. It's not too bad as they've lifted it forward, looking for Marcelo. Not quite on the same wavelength, and it does fall all the way over to Thiago Silva in the end. Rudiger. Just inside the Chelsea half is now Ben Chilwell. It's now Antonio Rudiger once again. Played forward to Mason Mount, and then back to Antonio Rudiger once again. Mason Mount to Rudiger, now Kante. Mount again, they're just keeping possession here. Chelsea in this season's 7 victories in the Champions League have made it 10 wins in Chelsea's last 17 Champions League matches, with 4 draws and 3 losses. So not too bad in Europe. It's hard to win games in Europe against anyone. Coming up against the best of the best. So to win 10 of the last 17 is not the worst result ever. And also Tuchel's record against Spanish opposition is 3 wins, 3 draws, unbeaten. So he's loving a game against a Spanish club, is Tuchel. As Rudiger again looking for a ball over the top. Azpilicueta nods it down towards Pulisic, gets there ahead of Marcelo, and he's been tripped by the Brazilian, and a free kick for Chelsea quite far out on the right hand side. So they could maybe lift this into the box if they want, or just start again from the back. From those stats, it's quite promising for Chelsea, not losing many games in the Champions League, and Tuchel's not getting beat by Zidane. He's never been beat by Zidane the 4 previous times they've met. He doesn't get beat by Spanish opposition as well. Mount looking forward for Werner, doesn't get there ahead of the defender. It's now Casemiro. Kroos, Marcelo's making a galloping run to the left, and he's being found, and he looks to find a pass over towards Benzema. It's a searching ball, and he has found him. Just about keeps it in on the right, and looks to try and go backwards, but he's just been put off balance a little bit because he was being pressured by Chilwell and Antonio Rudiger, and he can't find a man in a white shirt, and it'll be a throw-in for Chelsea. But a great ball from Marcelo to look for Benzema on the far side, and he did just about keep it in from the touchline and tried to play it back, but unfortunately for him, he couldn't find the right pass. His weak-footed pass just went out of play. Chilwell throws it down the line. Mount can't flick it on. It falls to Militao. He then can't quite play it forward to a Real Madrid player. And it's now Jorginho to Kante. Over to Azpilicueta. He's keeping Reece James out the squad the last couple of games. Christensen. Chelsea playing in their 14th UEFA competition semi-final. Their record is 6 wins, 7 losses. It's not the greatest of records in the grand scheme of things, losing more than they've won. So Modric picks it up from a long Chelsea ball that was unsuccessful, and they've worked it out wide nicely to Nacho Fernandez. Benzema's dropped deep for the ball. Marcelo back to the halfway line now with Nacho Fernandez inside to Modric. Cruz. Nacho Fernandez again down the line to Marcelo. Gets there ahead of, I think that's Mason Mount. So now Modric slips it through towards Vinicius Jr. in the box. He was getting ready to maybe cause some danger there, but the experienced Thiago Silva intercepted it. Chilwell panics and has to clear out a play because there was literally no options on. Being forced to play it out. Manaveram high. Score predictions. I think this is going to end 2-2. Let's go for some goals. 2-2. That's my hopeful head saying 2-2, but I think this will end 1-1, but I could be wrong. I've said that before. I've said it'll end like there won't be another goal in the game, and then there was like another 2 within the game, so what do I know? Militao. Carvajal looks inside, poor ball. Antonio Rudiger picks it up, and it's now a Kante on the halfway. Pulisic, as he wants to drive forward, chops past Marcelo, and he's not even caught by the Brazilian. Oh, yes, he is. I thought he was just missed there by Marcelo, but as he's chopped past him, he might have just been caught by the Brazilian in the end. I'd have to see a replay. Let's have a look. Yeah, chopped past the Brazilian, and I don't think he caught him. I think Pulisic slipped, but here's what it is. We continue now with Azpilicueta. Back to Christensen inside to Jorginho, then to Kante. In the final third, we are with Azpilicueta. Back to Christensen. Halfway line is Thiago Silva. Antonio Rudiger. Lifted ball again. Looking for Chilwell in behind, but Courtois ready. And he's out to collect the ball for Real Madrid. We're 11 minutes into the second half. It is still 1-1. 14th minute Pulisic goal and a 29th Benzema goal means this game is all level for now. It's supposed to be played down the line by Real Madrid. Stopped by Christensen as he helps it back forward. He lifts it towards Werner. Tries to get there ahead of Varane, but he does force a tackle by Varane, which will kick it out for a Chelsea throw-in in that final third. So pushing his team forward there, Werner. Good play by the German. Missed a sitter from 6 yards before the first goal. But, like I said in the first half, Turbo Timo is always ready for action. It's Azpilicueta on the right. Forced backwards towards Christensen, just too short. Vinicius Jr. gets there first and plays it towards Casemiro. Over to Modric. He's caught late, but advantage will be played as it does fall to Modric. He falls as he plays it. He slips and the ball isn't good enough. Cut out by Christensen, and Chelsea will look to bring it forward with Jorginho. Over to Ben Chilwell, who's come out from left wing back to join the attack. Now to Kante. Jorginho, the two central midfielders linking up. No return for Mateo Kovacic. He is injured, the former Real Madrid player, and isn't able to feature in this game, not even on the bench. Jorginho over on the halfway to the right to Thiago Silva. Lifted ball, looking in behind for Chilwell again in the box. He's been pushed in the box a little lightly by Carvajal, not enough for a foul. And the ball does go all the way through for a goal kick in the end. Play quickly now. Casemiro into the 18-yard box with Militao. It's the left-footed Thibaut Courtois. Finds the left-hand side of Fernandez, who will drive forward the left centre-back. Not got many options with him. Just plays a back heel to Marcelo. It's now Cruz. I feel like Madrid is playing a little too deep with some of their players. They're not getting enough support up to the likes of Benzema and Vinicius Jr., the Brazilian, who did get those 2 goals at the stadium against Liverpool in the first leg of the quarter-final. Varane. Fernandez. Back to Varane again. In the Madrid half we go. Switches it over. But that first leg loss to City in the last season's competition was Madrid's third. Was only the loss was the first loss. I I can't even speak. Oh my days. The first leg loss to City was only their third loss at home to an English club. Their record is 9 wins, 6 draws. Got that in the end. So that first leg loss to City last season before COVID times, where there was a packed out Bernabeu and they lost 2-1. I think it was a De Bruyne penalty in the end. That was the main difference. That was only the third time they'd lost at home to an English club. So, decent record against the English. Well, it doesn't look like they're going to lose this game at the minute, but, they definitely could. They could end up losing it if they if they're not careful. Thanks for everyone. There's 9 people, 9 likes. Great to see this amount of people in the stream. If you are new, please subscribers. Kante burst down that right, and as he's running, it comes off the back of his heel, and behind it goes, but he does win a free kick as Toni Kroos was pulling him all the way. He nearly did really well to get away from Kroos there, Kante, but as he had got away from him in the end, as he was dribbling with the ball, it just hit the back of his heel as he was trying to bring it away. But the foul and the yellow card's been given to Kroos in the end as he caught Kante, as that's what forced the ball to hit the back of his heel. And there's a chance for Chelsea from the right hand side. Mount stood over it with Chilwell. It's not a shooting chance, it's on the far right, but it's prime time for a cross. I think Rudiger's in there, Christensen is in there as well. Wouldn't surprise me if Thiago Silva is lurking somewhere within that pack. Yes, he is. I've just about seen him. As it is Mason Mount, right-footed cross. Varane wins the header, falls to Kroos on the edge. Needs to try and get rid of it if he can as he works away from Pulisic, caught late by Antonio Rudiger as he came over to help. And a free kick for Real Madrid it is. Half an hour to go with this first leg. Who can make the difference as it's Dani Carvajal, him also playing only his second Champions League game of the season. His only other appearance came in Game 4 against Inter Milan. And he's also only been on the bench for one other game in the Champions League. So an injury-struck season for Carvajal has meant he's missed some football as Marcelo plays it forward to Vinicius Jr. on the far left. Just about keeps it in. But he's offside. Breaks down that move. It's poor. I feel like Madrid need a change. They have got the likes of an Eden Hazard, a certain Eden Hazard on the bench. Got Isco as well. Tight call that. I think he was just off maybe. Chelsea trying to play out from the back. With Jorginho sending it down the right towards Pulisic. Falls to a Madrid player and it goes back forward and it's Christensen to panic and so does Azpilicueta. His clearance is slashed right into the 18-yard box and overhead clearance by Thiago Silva. Takes away the pressure for a now as Kroos heads it forward and so does Marcelo to the left to Vinicius Jr. Can he keep it in? Yes, he can. Now back with Modric. Toni Kroos again. Nacho Fernandez. Modric. Not got many plays in the box. Well, many plays in the box where they're in a position to score. He's been tackled in the air and there by Cesar Azpilicueta and a throw is for Madrid towards the corner flag as Cesar Azpilicueta, the youth product of Osasuna, came through Spain, then went over to France to Marseille, and then in 2012 came to Chelsea and has now made 422 appearances, including today for the club, alongside 14 goals and 51 assists. The club captain, Cesar Azpilicueta. As it looks like they're going to make a change, Real Madrid, and it is Eden Hazard as they have taken this throw in. Vinicius Jr.'s got it back. He's crossed it in towards Benzema. Asking too much of the Frenchman. Can't quite get on the end of it. And a goal kick it is for Chelsea. It looks like they're making a double change. Reece James and Hakim Ziyech are the two players to come on. Ziyech scoring in that second leg against Atletico Madrid at home to make it 2-0 on aggregate in that tie. Can they beat both Madrids to give the ball away here cheaply? Chelsea and Kante's got it back with an unbelievable tackle. Vinicius Jr. running towards the edge of the box and he's just got around him, Kante, and nicked the ball away as he slips it through to Azpilicueta. Back inside to Kante. Passes poor by Azpilicueta. Casemiro picks it up. 1-2 Benzema. Casemiro to Vinicius Jr. Now with Kroos. Back to Modric. Over to Dani Carvajal. Around 30 yards from goal. Lifts it to Benzema. Back to goal. Turns. Tries to get it out wide left with his left foot, but Azpilicueta's there. And Christensen's there as well to just clip it away to Pulisic. He then lays it back to Azpilicueta. And Chelsea back in possession, back in controlled possession. As I'm presuming when the ball goes out, we'll have all those subs come on. See if that will change the game. Pulisic. Gets away from the pressure of about 3 Madrid players and then finds Christensen. Now with Thiago Silva. Forward to Jorginho, and then again to Pulisic. Caught in possession by Militao, and it's now back in the favour of Real Madrid. With Modric. Halfway line is Toni Kroos. Over to Modric again. Formerly of Spurs. Really excelled under Harry Redknapp at Spurs. Luka Modric before making the switch from London to Madrid. And obviously experiencing a lot of success at Madrid. It's now with Dani Carvajal going inside. And then finding Kroos. First time ball curling it out wide left to Nacho Fernandez. Lays it into the path of Modric, who will get onto it. And then look for a player on the left. And that's Benzema, who's gone to left wing. Down towards the byline to Carvajal. Has gone from right wing back to left wing back. And he's lost the ball in that position. Pulisic can bring it away, but Marcelo's caught him late. Cynically as well. Is that Marcelo's first booking? Or is it his second? I think it's his first. Very lucky boy there, Marcelo. That was really, tactical if I've ever seen it. Pulisic got onto the Dani Carvajal misplaced pass, and as he got away from Marcelo, he's just caught him late and concedes the free kick. And here we go, it's a triple change for Chelsea. But here's the main man, Vinicius Junior, who did score 2 against Liverpool. Not quite the impact today, but not really supported up front, really. Been quite isolated with Benzema. He's replaced by the one and only Eden Hazard, the man who had a 7-year stay at Chelsea, racking up 352 appearances with 110 goals. He's had an injury-struck career so far at Real Madrid, but could he, spark his career against the club that made him who he is? And then a triple change for Chelsea. Let me try and keep up to date. So we've got Pulisic being replaced by Hakim Ziyech. That's the first change. Pulisic off, the goal scorer, is replaced by Hakim Ziyech. Timo Werner is replaced by Kai Havertz. So Werner, who had a chance from 6 yards in the first half to make it 1-0, and he missed it. He's off for Kai Havertz, so I'm presuming he will go up front. So far these are like-to-like changes, all like-for-like changes, just position changes, because the club captain, Azpilicueta, who's been working so hard down that right, has now been replaced at that right wing-back position by Reece James. So no tactical changes here, all just changes in their positions. So Werner, who was playing up front, has been replaced by Havertz, who will go up front. Pulisic, who was playing out wide right, has been replaced by Ziyech, who will play on the right wing. And then, like I just said, for the right wing back area, Azpilicueta off for Reece James. So no tactic changes, no position changes, just replacements, straight replacements and straight swaps as we're back underway. And they're going to hope for some positive outcomes of these fresh legs. Chelsea, as Chilwell gets it towards one of those fresh pair of legs to Havertz, back heels it to Ziyech, who gets onto it, then plays it forward to Mason Mount. To Havertz, who's drifted far left, he got it forward in the final third. Here's Ziyech in support. Chilwell. Lays it back into Havertz. Side to Jorginho, who's now got the captain's armband. Finds Havertz again. Over to Christensen. Now here's Reece James getting his first few touches of the ball. Finds Kante. And back they have to go to Christensen. Now to Jorginho again. Havertz back to goal. Lays it back into the Italian Jorginho. Just about works it away from Karim Benzema. Thiago Silva. Ball to Ben Chilwell. Mount, who was the one selected to stay on, despite the other 2 forward men being substituted off there, Pulisic and Timo Werner. Mount does stay on. Jorginho to Rudiger. Over to Jorginho again. Back to the halfway to Chelsea's Thiago Silva, as they're just starting to get a bit of, contained possession here, Chelsea. Jorginho slips it forward to Havertz from range. Does he fancy it? No. Lays it over to Ziyech. Now over to Chilwell in the boxes. Mount, he takes on the turn. Nice little chop. Left foot strike blocked by Varane. Falls to Kante though. Now Jorginho to Rudiger. Out wide left again to Chilwell. Inside to Mason Mount. Ziyech, who's supposed to be playing right wing, but he's found himself on the left for now. Mount, back to Rudiger. Christensen. Jorginho. This is all about 40 yards away from the Madrid goal. Forward we go to Mount. And again to Chilwell. Inside to Ziyech. Giving a bit of room. Late back into Chelsea. Chelsea's Ben Chilwell. Over to Jorginho. Can they score from this built-up bit of possession here, Chelsea? Rudiger. Over to Jorginho. It's building up ever so slightly. Havertz. Into Reece James on the byline. Works a crossing. Headed away by Varane on the 6-yard line. Now Kante tries to flick it back towards one of his teammates to keep the ball alive. But he's only found the side of the pitch. A ball boy will throw a new ball in for Madrid to restart now with the throw. That bit of possession not coming to anything in the end for Chelsea. It's on the edge of the 18-yard box. It's Militao. Carvajal down the line looking for Chilwell. Strikes the hand of the Englishman. And a handball and a free kick it is for Real Madrid in their own half on the right. Chilwell saying it hit his chest. Referee's not having any of it. As we do continue now into the 70th minute. With Marcelo back heeling it into Eden Hazard, the number 7. First few touches against his former club. Can't quite get beyond Havertz, doing his defensive work very nicely in the Chelsea half. Now Kante, back to Havertz, skips past Marcelo, finds Kante, and back to Reece James. Well done there by Kante to keep possession within the Chelsea shirts there in N'Golo Kante. He made his professional debut in 2012, in League 2 of France. It's just quite amazing to see now. The fact he's now in the Champions League semi-final and he's won 2 Premier Leagues. 2012, only 9 years ago, he was only just becoming pro. What a jump in his career. Jorginho looks in behind for Reece James towards the byline in the box. Put too much on it by the Italian. The Englishman can't bring it down or even get a touch onto it. And a goal kick it is for Real Madrid as it still pours. When it rains, it pours in Madrid, especially tonight. As Carvajal's got it. Back to Militao in the right back area, just curls it down the line, and it does fall to Modric in the end. Forward to Benzema. Back to Modric, then forward to Casemiro. Can't quite find the ball. Back to Carvajal with the flick, and it's now gone to Hakim Ziyech in the box on the left. We'll try and play it all the way across, and it's an inviting ball, but Havertz wasn't quite there. Asking a lot of the German there, the Moroccan, to get on the end of it. Ziyech to Havertz. But it was an inviting ball nonetheless, and just about got away from Kai Havertz, and this next goal in the game is still awaiting a team to take it. Hazard can't quite keep the ball, but he's got it with a throw-in now as he throws it quickly back to Marcelo. But they're going to have to retake it because there was another ball on the pitch. But imagine Eden Hazard scoring against his former club. It will be quite something. Such an injury-struck career at Real Madrid. Eden Hazard, so far, he's missed 58 games as a Real Madrid player. He's missed 358 days, so just shy of a year. That's days off with injury, just days missed with injury. He's had 11 different injuries at Real Madrid. If that's a week injury, if that's a month injury, if that's 3 months. So poor of injuries. And he didn't really have any issues with Chelsea. I think he picked up maybe 1 or 2 injuries in his 7 years. But nothing like what he's had to put up with at Madrid. And I'm just hoping he gets to show, the La Liga and the Spanish league what he did in the Premier League and how he was one of the best players during that Premier League era. As they've lost it on this left day Madrid, and it's well worked by Chelsea to get out of the situation they were in. Havertz pokes it forward to Ziyech, tries to get inside on Militao, doesn't allow it, and he just about stops Ziyech from getting any further forward, but Militao can't avoid the corner, I think, as he did tackle Ziyech as he looked to go inside, hit the leg of Militao, and it was rolling for a corner, and he couldn't avoid it in the end, Militao. And they have got a set piece to defend now, Real Madrid. But Real Madrid just had it on the left there with that throw in they won, and then Chelsea just nicked it and played a few passes with a triangle between 3 players, and they got out of the situation beautifully and got away in the end with Ziyech being played through at the end of it and nearly getting in behind. But a corner's of what they've got, and they could use this to their advantage. Mount crossing it in towards Rudiger, who can't win the header, but he does fall over to Ziyech on the far post, who helps it back in as it nearly went all the way through to the far post and into the back of the net, but Courtois was equal to it, and he caught it, and he's rolled it to Luka Modric. Now over to Kroos. Real Madrid's midfield, I just feel it's been a little too deep, not supporting that front 2 enough. That's why I think taking off Vinicius Jr. was harsh, because he's not done anything wrong, Vinicius Jr. He's just not got the support. Modric and Kroos is just so deep in the midfield, and Casemiro tries to push forward every now and then, but the limited chances, and not just the chances they're creating, but how important and how big their chances are, because they're just not getting plays forward. They can't go to the Stamford Bridge 1-1. That's just too much of a risky scoreline to take to Chelsea, as Benzema's got it in the right back area here, chops past Jorginho forward nicely, and it now ends up being with Casemiro. Now to Benzema again on the right, who's worked a bit of space, but that's quickly taken away from him as Rudiger comes in with a strong challenge. And a throw in for Madrid it is. Just a double change here for Real Madrid. Zidane giving some last instructions. It's going to be Marco Asensio to come on after this free kick. I'm not sure why there's been a free kick. I'm not going to lie, I missed that. And as well, Alvaro Odriozola, who won the Champions League with Bayern last year on loan. He's going to come on. But here's Kroos to swing the ball into the box towards the far post, where it's been brought down by Varane. Very nice at the far post. Back to goal. Tries to spin and turn to work across. Does do so in the end. Gets it off the foot of Christensen, and a corner kick it is for Madrid. Well worked by Varane. I'm not going to lie, I didn't see why the free kick was taken, and why it was given, but it was taken in the end, brought down beautifully by Varane, and in the end he's worked a cross and a corner for his team. 15 minutes to go. It's an in-swinging cross. We're still not had the substitutions yet. I'm presuming that'll happen after this corner. It's going to be in-swinger by Kroos. It's a teasing ball in. Casemiro doesn't win the header, but it falls to Benzema at the edge of the box. Strikes it. Blocked again. Falls to the edge to Marcelo. His shot blocked. Then falls to Nacho Fernandez. Lays it off to Hazard. On his right foot on the edge. Lays it off to Modric. Then lifted back over to the left to Kroos. Brings it down with the left boot. One touch with the right boot. And then a right-footed pass to Modric again. Works it to the opposite side to Casemiro. Met by Reece James. Cross blocked by the Englishman. And he can sprint with it, Reece James. Not too far, though, because Militao's tackled him. And then Hakim Ziyech has put pressure under Carvajal, who's then passed out to play the right back. And a throw-in it is for Chelsea in their own half. There's Benzema going for the strike and it being blocked in the end. Here comes the double change. Dani Carvajal to be replaced by Alvaro Odriozola, the 25-year-old Spanish right back, who I did say just before was on loan for the last 6 months of the season with Bayern Munich in that Champions League victory, signed from Real Sociedad. And then Marcelo, who has been limited with his football this season, he's going to be replaced by Marco Asensio, the number 11, who did also get a goal in the Liverpool game in that first leg and also scored in the second leg against Atalanta in the round of 16. So he scored in every round so far in the knockout stages. Chelsea are back on it with Thiago Silva. Both teams are making change. Sorry, my OBS just disconnected there. As we have got a free kick on the edge of the box with Kai Havertz, who brought the ball away in the end on the right-hand side and then was brought down by Rafael Varane. But if you didn't disconnect there, then I'm talking rubbish, but it just said my OBS disconnected. So if it did there, I do apologise. We're hopefully back now. It just came up a notification on my computer saying it had disconnected, so not just me, it did say disconnected, so I just had to rerun it quickly. So if anything disconnected there or buffered, I do apologise. But like I said, Chelsea just had it at the back there, got it forward, through the lines to Kai Havertz, and from about 20 yards out now on the right-hand side of the box, Chelsea have got a free kick in a beautiful area, all from the work of Kai Havertz. It'll be tough for Courtois to keep this out if they can get this over the wall and on target. Varane with the yellow card because of the foul he did commit on Kai Havertz just then. Who stood over it? Reece James stood over it. Mount stood over it. Hakim Ziyech as well. So some decent dead ball specialists here. And it could give Chelsea a late lead here in Madrid and give them such a boost for the second leg. Reece James has walked away from it. So it's either Ziyech or Mason Mount. Who's going to step up to the plate? It's the Moroccan. It's Ziyech. It's over the wall, but an easy catch in the end for Courtois. And Chelsea have blown another chance. He did get it over the wall, but could not generate the power or the curl to work it away from Thibaut Courtois. And it's now into the midfield again with Cruz playing in a holding midfield role, getting quite deep in the Madrid half. Militao back to the goalkeeper, Thibaut Courtois. Has it again, the Belgian, the 6'6" Belgian. Very, very tall. Won't get his 20th clean sheet in all competitions this season, unfortunately. Currently on 19 for the season, and Edouard Mendy is also not going to get his 23rd. Hazard on the halfway, on the left. Working himself away from Christensen. It's now with Cruz. Through to Marco Asensio. Hazard, centre of the pitch now. He's allowed to turn. He's going to play it over to the left-hand side to Toni Kroos. He's going to go for a switch to Luka Modric, the 35-year-old now. He'll be 36 on the 9th of September. So becoming quite the veteran now. Luka Modric, who's also been Croatia's Player of the Year 5 times now in his career as well. You know, obviously alongside that Ballon d'Or and that FIFA Best Player of the Year in 2018 as well. As he's on the ball again on the right-hand side. Casemiro, first time ball lifted into Hazard. Looks to dummy it, but no one's behind him. Picked up by Thiago Silva. Played forward by Silva, and then to Kante. He goes back to Christensen, who's got a bit of time on the ball here in this right centre-back role. Kante lays it back off to the Danish international. Plays it forward to Ziyech. Backheeled into Kante. He bursts away from Casemiro, but only as far as a pull-back and then a heavy challenge by Casemiro. I'm surprised that's not a foul. I know he won the ball there, Casemiro, but that was a raised foot. Ziyech has got back up from it. He got it off Kante and then did a really aggressive challenge, really not needed by Casemiro. He won the ball and it's not really a foul, but there was no need for that aggression, and with a challenge, went right through Ziyech. Thankfully he's okay and he did win the ball, because it was a nice flip from Ziyech into Kante, and I thought he'd burst away from Casemiro, but just lost his way a little bit when trying to get away from Casemiro, and then the seconds was definitely won by Casemiro with that challenge on Ziyech. As with 9 minutes to go, no goals in this second half so far, but it's been entertaining nonetheless. Real Madrid 13-time champions of Europe. Can they get to another final under Zinedine Zidane? Luka Modric. Lifted ball to the left-hand side. Nacho Fernandes brings it down. Can't play Asensio down the line. He can a second time as it deflects back to him off Reece James. Then he gets across in there, Marco Asensio. But play's being brought back as he's offside. Asensio from the second Nacho Fernandes passes. Sergio Ramos is very animated on the sidelines there. Don't think he was offside there, Asensio. I think the outstretched leg of Thiago Silva was playing him on. Sergio Ramos, what they could have done with him in this team. I think he would have helped them massively, if I'm going to be honest. But injured he is, so he won't play. Well, he's not going to play. I don't know if he'll be okay for the second leg. You'll have to find out next week when I do the second leg on this channel. In 8 days' time, on Wednesday. Ball's been lifted forward by Mendy from the free kick. Header won by Havertz. Helped on by Casemiro the other way. It's now Jorginho. Through to Kante, gets beyond Kroos and Asensio and Nacho Fernandes down the right-hand side. What a run by Kante. He chips it inside. Oh, headed away by Militao. Oh, as far as Kante, he's got it back on the edge of the box. Works past Asensio, but not Kroos this time. And the German can clear down the line with the left foot towards Benzema, but it's Christensen to cut it out. And find Jorginho. Now back to Thiago Silva. Will we get late drama in this first leg to give a team an advantage going back to Stamford Bridge? Mount. Chilwell joins the attack on the left. Over to Rudiger again. Jorginho lifted the ball in, looking for Chilwell. Does head it down to Mason Mount, but Modric is there first. And he's got the ball back from Casemiro and works it away from Chilwell, but the touch is too heavy. And a throw in for Chelsea halfway into the Real Madrid half. Throw back into their own half with Rudiger. Jorginho. Kante. Reece James on the right. Bringing it forward. Inside to Ziyech on the edge. Can't work away from Casemiro. And it'll fall in the end to Thibaut Courtois. As that attack has come to its conclusion. Varane. Over to Eder Militao. It's now Toni Kroos. Inside to Luka Modric. Toni Kroos again in the Real Madrid half. Nacho Fernandez now has it on the left. He's got support of Eden Hazard. He'll lay it off to the Belgian. That's Asensio. Now to Hazard. Inside the Madrid half. That's how deep all these Madrid players are, by the way. Toni Kroos back over to the left-hand side to Nacho Fernandez. Now to Varane. Bit of controlled possession now for Madrid. Coming towards the end of this first leg. It's been entertaining. It's been thrilling. It's been nail-biting for the fans involved. Militao. Back to Kroos. Varane to the goalkeeper. Like I said, they're just keeping the ball here, Madrid. Nothing silly. Don't want to give anything away. Modric. Spins and plays it forward up towards Odriozola. Last touch comes off Chilwell. And he wins a throw-in for his team in the Chelsea half, Odriozola. Number 19. Throws it in towards Hazard. Loses it to Chilwell. Throwing it is for Chelsea. Taken quickly. Thrown forward to Kai Havertz. Touches a bit heavy and dispossessed by Kroos. Forward to Eden Hazard. Jinxes his way down the right-hand side. Then works a cross in and headed away in the end. On as far as Kroos, who lays it into Nacho Fernandez with his left foot. Now Marco Asensio. Left-footed ball inside. Gets past Odriozola but falls to Eden Hazard. Edge of the box on the right. Trying to work a bit of room for himself. Plays it through to Odriozola. Great ball. Pulled back. Blocked off by Rudiger. And Casemiro gets there and is met by the challenger Chilwell, who has to clear out for a throw-in. Close there by Real Madrid. As like I said, they want to try and create some late drama, and Hazard's pass to Odriozola nearly did just that. Here he is with the throw-in, Odriozola. Or is it back towards Eder Militao? Kroos. Halfway line now with Rafael Varane. It's now Toni Kroos. Shifted over to the right-hand side where Casemiro nods it down to Modric. Touch is too heavy. He's met by the challenger Jorginho, but it goes Madrid's way for the throw-in. Jorginho thought it came off Modric last, but the linesman thought differently. Odriozola with the throw-in again in that final third as they still are high in the Chelsea half towards Benzema, cut out by Chilwell. His clearance only as far as Militao. Varane. It's now to Fernandez. Enters the Chelsea half on the left-hand side. Bursts forward. Lays off to Asensio. A lot of blue Chelsea shirts back in position, forming a strong shield wall that they will not let break until the end. But can Madrid upset that and break it themselves and score? So Modric comes inside from the right-hand side. Lays it over to Kroos from range. He wants to shoot. He does shoot. He deflects it wide. A corner kick for Real Madrid and for Chelsea to defend. 87th minute we're now into. And Chelsea just need to be careful. Real Madrid are knocking at that door. They're trying to find their way in. If that's, kicking the door from around the back or just going right through one of the windows, they're going to find a way through. Well, that's what they're going to try and do anyway. Toni Kroos is going to be an in-swinging ball. He's drilled it in towards Varane. He does head it on and it's not far away. Was it deflected? It may have been deflected. I think it's another corner for Real Madrid. I think it is. Ramos doing his best impression of the header attempted there. It's a good little, trained corner that just drills it towards Varane as he headed it. It came right off the face of Chilwell. He was actually going quite far wide, but he skimmed it off Chilwell's face and it just went a few yards past the post. So it's now going to be a Kroos corner on the opposite side. So it'll be an out-swinging cross. Can he put it where he'll hurt Chelsea? Crossed in. Comes off, I think, the head of Mount and loops in the air. Headed back in by Casemiro. Good goalkeeping by Edouard Mendy, who collects. And the attack has just calmed down a little bit as Mendy's rolled it out to Rudiger on the left. He will charge forward. Militao's going to try and get back and chop him down. Can't do so, and he runs into Odriozola. And that's going to be A free kick for Chelsea and Odriozola's booked because Rudiger sprinted by Militao, and then Odriozola just made sure he got in the way to completely take out Rudiger from going any further down that left. And yes, it's not a shooting chance at all. It is quite far out on the left-hand side, so again, it's going to be a lifted ball in. But Alvaro Odriozola taking one for the team there, taking down Rudiger, who is still down, just holding his cheek there, because he was running at full speed and then just blocked off cynically by Odriozola. Oh, that's poor. Didn't even want the ball, Odriozola. Just made sure he took out the man. And yeah, that's a heavy collision for Antonio Rudiger. I'm sure he'll be able to continue, but that's going to take a little bit of time just to kind of regroup, because he's literally sprinted right into Odriozola there. Tuchel and Zidane barking instructions. Like I said, Zidane has never beaten Tuchel in a game. That's after 3-2-2 draws and a 1-0 win for Tuchel. As Rudiger is still getting treatment here on this left, because, like I said, what I mean, he was running full speed. He was running full speed, and then he just got clattered into by Odriozola. And it is going to take a little bit of, recovery time for him to just get over that little knock. But he is the man with the assist for the Pulisic goal. Found him in behind, onside, got drifted out wide, left a little bit Pulisic, then brought it back in around the keeper. He had two players to beat on the line, got it past them both, and gave Chelsea an early lead in the 14th minute. And then about 15 minutes later, just about half an hour in, Benzema volleyed home a fantastic strike, as it was a well-worked short corner. Found its way to Benzema in the end, and 1-1 it is, and that's how it stayed until this stage of the game. It's been 1-1 ever since that 29th minute goal. Will we get another one? Will we have to wait until the second leg to see if we get any more goals in this game? Because if it does stay 1-1 on aggregate through the second leg, and obviously the second leg ends 0-0, then Chelsea will go through on away goals. We've got 3 minutes added on. We played 45 seconds of that. Rudiger is back on his feet, and Real Madrid want to make a change. Not going to take it yet, though. I mean, they're going to take the free kick, but not take the change. Jorginho back to Chilwell. Back to Antonio Rudiger, back on his feet. Just still feeling that cheek a little bit. That cheekbone. Chilwell. Side to Jorginho. Now to Rudiger. Forward to Havertz. Touches a little loose, but it does fall to Chilwell in the end. It's now Mount who's been dispossessed on the ball by Kroos, but Havertz wins it back and just about gets it to Kante. It's now Jorginho. Works it towards Mount, cut out by Odriozola. It's now Casemiro forward to Luka Modric. Tries to get beyond Rudiger, who's just done what's just happened to him. Completely blocks off Modric. And a free kick it is, but no booking for Antonio Rudiger. And Real Madrid are going to make this last change that they've got. Well, I say last change they've got, the last chance they've got to make a change, because there's only about a minute left of the game. It's going to be Karim Benzema to be replaced by Rodrigo, a young Brazilian winger, 20 years old. Got a Champions League hat-trick under his belt. Rodrigo, last season, in a 6-0 win at against Galatasaray in November. He scored 3 of those goals in that group stage game. Rodrigo, and he will replace Benzema for the last minute of the game. Just, I think, fresh legs up front, to be honest. Benzema has worked hard himself and got that goal, obviously. As Modric plays a short ball down the line and Chilwell gets onto it. It's now Mount in the Chelsea half. Back it goes to Antonio Rudiger. 3 minutes were added on. 2 minutes, 25 seconds have been played. Forward to Kante. Into the Real Madrid half. Just about works out to Reece James. This would be late drama. Reece James going the long way and putting a cross in, and not really towards anyone in a Chelsea shirt. Too far from Havertz, too far from Chilwell, and out it went for a goal kick in the end. And as the rain still hammers down at the Estadio Alfredo Di Stefano stadium, that is, but obviously they put the stadium at the start, Estadio. We've had a cracking game here. Yes, the second half wasn't as good as the first, but nonetheless, it's been a cracking first leg, and hopefully it continues in the second. As there's a free kick here for Real Madrid. Real Madrid take it short and quickly to Casemiro. Played the 3 minutes. We played an extra 20 seconds alongside it. Varane over to Fernandes on the left. Down the line it goes to Asensio. Who'll give chase to Christensen, but Christensen will get there first. And we'll kick it out of play through a throw-in. As he's got an extra minute, I think, on the 3 because of the Rudiger injury. Thrown into Asensio. Tries to go down the line, cut off, and that is what the referee saw, and that's all he wanted to play. It ends Real Madrid 1, Chelsea 1, all to play for in the second leg. Chelsea got off to a great start with a Christian Pulisic goal, the first American to ever score in a Champions League semi-final. And then 15 minutes later, from a corner, they played it short over to Modric, who then got it to the far post to Casemiro, headed it inwards towards Militao, who flicked it onto Benzema. One touch and a quick strike, hammered it home for Real Madrid to give them a 1-1 draw going into half-time. And then from then, the second half didn't have as much excitement and as many chances as the first half did. But nonetheless, both teams were going at it. Neither team could really break down anyone's defence. And for Chelsea, they'll definitely take a 1-1 draw going into that second leg. An away goal they've got. Real Madrid have got to score at Stamford Bridge. And, with Thomas Tuchel having 16 clean sheets in 22 Chelsea games as manager, it might be hard for Madrid. But we're just going to have to see how that plays out. But a decent first leg, all to play for. And it shows us, when two of the best teams in Europe play one another, it does lead to a great game full of talent and skill and tactical wit by both teams, and a battle that is finished even for now. But come the second leg, in some way, someone's got to give way and someone's got to win, and we're going to have to see who that is come 8 days' time. But for now, first leg in Madrid, it finishes Real Madrid 1, Chelsea 1. Fascinating game, a good game for the fans and the neutrals. Everyone's happy, and it's all to play for in that second leg with 1-1. Great commentary, cheers, mate. Thanks to everyone who's joined. Well, everyone who was here has just left immediately, which is fair enough. It is full time. But thanks to everyone who's been here. It's been a great stream, actually. Consistent numbers, really. We started off with 3 right at the start of the stream. Then kick-off we had 4, and then half an hour in we got to 8 people, and then from that we had an average of 6 viewers all the way through. Got to 7, 8 a few times, so that's decent. That at least I was actually commenting to some people, about 6 or 7 of you all the way through, so that's nice to see. But yeah, that's going to be the end of the commentary. Let's see what they do on the analysis of the game. So I'm going to get off and have a watch of that. But for me, that is the end of the commentary and the live stream. I've very much enjoyed this first semi-final and the first leg of this game between Real Madrid and Chelsea. Chelsea got to a great start, could have scored way more goals than they did on the counter-attack, but failed to really make the most of their chances. But they did take one of them with Christian Pulisic scoring to make it 1-0. That was cancelled out by Benzema. And then right the way through the second half, it was head-to-head. It was battle against, it was battle and battles all the way through. But in the end, no one could crack in the second half. And in the end, it did end 1-1 between both sides. So for me, that is the end. I hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe. So for Chelsea, they will certainly take that back to Stamford Bridge and hope that they can build on it and take themselves to the Champions League final for the first time since 2012 under manager Thomas Tuchel. But will Zidane and his experienced Real Madrid team break the hearts of Chelsea and cause upset in London at the Bridge?